Hello everybody and welcome to our moon art activity. What you guys are going to need for today's activity is one little baggie of white paint, not too much in there. One little baggie of flour, again not too much because you don't want to use too much on our moon. One small paper plate, a piece of black or blue construction paper, a little crumpled up paper towel, and some tape or glue for the last step. So what we're going to do first is actually make our night sky. So I'm going to take my black paper, my crumpled up paper towel, and this can be any paper towel as long as it's sort of squished up. We're going to use the ridges on it to make our stars, and our paint. So I'm going to open up my paint bag. I'm going to dip my crunched up paper towel in. Just a little teeny bit of paint. We don't need too much because we're just making little dots for stars. So I have a little bit of paint on there. I'm going to start dabbing my paint onto my background. That just makes little star imprints all over the night sky. So I'm just making stars all over my background. Get a little bit more paint. This is sort of like using a little stamp. So it gets done pretty quick. I have stars all over my background. I have my night sky all ready for my moon to go onto it. So I'm going to set my paper towel to the side. And what I'm going to do next, get this out of the way, is start to pour a little bit of flour into my paint bag. You want to do this just a little bit at a time because the flour will kind of absorb your paint and you don't want all your paint to end up going away and getting too dry. So I'm just going to put probably about a spoon's worth in there, right into the baggie too. You could do it in a bowl if you wanted, but I'll make less of a mess and put it in my baggie. And now I'm going to close up my paint bag with the flour in there. And I'm just going to squish it all up. Squish it all into the paint, right in the bag. Squish that paint right into the flour. So this is still a little bit too paint-like for my liking. Still pretty squishy. So I'm going to add just a teeny bit more flour in there. You want it to be kind of like a paste and almost be like you're mixing up like dough for bread or something like that. So add some more flour. This is a kind of messy craft. It's always a messy craft around here, I think. Okay. Mix that right into the paint. Okay. All right, so now that we have our little dough mixture made for our moon, what we're going to do is take our little paper plate, that will be the outline of the moon, and we're going to just simply squish all of this paint and flour mixture right on top of that paper plate, right into a little blob. So I'm just going to use my fingers to slide it all down right to the bottom of the bag, and then just squish it all out the side. This is kind of messy, so make sure you're doing it over something you don't want to get ruined. I'll say that. So it's just squishing right out of the bag there. Get all of it off. So now basically what you have is a little squishy paint and flour mixture on your paper plate. And you can take either a paintbrush or your fingers for this and just smush it all down onto the plate. I'll use my fingers. Just going to smooth it all right across, right up to the very edge of your plate. This is going to sort of make the moon texture. It'll be especially like the moon once it dries. Just gonna squish that all around. Again, a very messy one. So I have it all covered up right to the very edges of the plate. So we have our moon here, and something else you can do to add extra texture is make little craters on your moon. So if you take a cup sort of like this, or a little tiny cup, then maybe you could just sort of press the bottom in, peel it off, and that'll make sort of a circle-y shape of a crater. You can really do whatever you want to make texture on your moon. Anything will work, just adds to your own special moon shape. So this is very, very wet and very thick. So this is going to take a little while to dry. It'll take about 1 to 2 days. So we'll set that off to the side in a nice place where it won't get disturbed. But once it is dry, what you're going to do is tape or glue it onto the background that you made with the stars, and it will look a little something like this. This is a dried out moon that we made the other day, and it's completely dry now. It's sort of crunchy. It has a lot of texture on it. You can feel all the little places where there may have been craters or anything like that. And it's right on our star background. So this is still a little bit fragile because we have some flaking off pieces. But this is a very neat little way to experience the moon right on our piece of paper. And here's an interesting fact about the moon. Did you guys know that the moon has not been walked on by humans since 1972? That is a long time. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this moon art activity and have a great day. See you next time.